だけど頼りない翼でもきっと飛べるさ Oh my
Hello everyone, and happy Oduba Day 2017. We hope that you're having a great day, whatever you're doing. Are you cosplaying? Maybe you're just having a regular day. Maybe you don't celebrate Oduba Day, but whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great day. This time we are going to be watching the dub, the English dub, because that just came out here a couple of days ago, but now once this is out a couple of weeks ago. I'm May.
I'm Jay.
I am now joined by my mother, as she joined me for the episode that we recorded last Oduba Day. I thought I'd invite her back, but to watch Try, because Try just came out just this week in Australian DVD stores, so I bought that, and we watched the English dub. And I just have a few questions for my mother, as she used to watch Saturday morning cartoons with me, and even before school cartoons with me, and she watched Digimon with me. So Mum, say hello.
Hello.
And this is the same mother as the last one. I haven't swapped her in for a different model.
No,
it's the same. It's the same mother. I only have one.
Yeah, I didn't digivolve into
a metal
superior
mummy
being. Yeah.
Well, there is a Mummymon.
Oh dear.
He's a mummy.
Yeah.
He's got guns.
Oh.
He's very scary. He shoots like lightning out of his guns. It's terrifying.
Oh.
He's
That's something I'd like to do.
It's covered in bandages because he's a mummy, and his friend is a spider. Her name's Arakenimon.
Oh, okay.
And she's a spider.
Oh,
yeah, she's spoopy.
Yeah.
Very spoopy. Too spoopy.
Too spoopy.
Too spoopy. Mm-hmm. So, Mum, did you remember anything about Digimon before we watched, about the first season that we used to watch when I was a kid?
It helped that you have posters around your room, because I was constantly saying, which one's this again? And then it brought back memories, and because I dust all your toys every week, it was good that I could look around and say, oh, okay, I know that one.
Yeah, and you grabbed the Koromon plushie and you said, which one does this one turn into?
Yes.
Like, oh, that's Agumon. So it was helpful to have the plushies.
Yes,
and the
I'd
posters.
forgotten that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they do look different, because he's pink and he evolves into someone who's yellow or orange.
Yeah.
You also asked during the movie, where's the one with the glasses? Which is Miyako or Yoli.
Yeah.
And we see her in the start of this movie. I'm not sure if you caught it, but there's a few kids who just look like they're attacked by something and they fall over and their Digivices are there. And these are actually the kids from the second season, which is set a few years after the first season.
Oh, okay.
And TK and Kari, who were in this movie, are part of that group.
Oh,
But
okay.
as of movie 4, which came out a couple of months ago, we still don't know what happened to those kids.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't fully know the deal of the government organisation.
No, that was quite interesting, that.
Yeah, it's like this sort of Men in Black thing.
Yes, very much.
Though we do find out, I thought it was in this one, but maybe it's the next one, that this government organisation is in charge of making sure that people who don't know about Digimon continue not to know about Digimon. So they are quite Men in Black.
That is like Men in Black, yeah.
Mm. So, yeah, Yoli is unfortunately not in this movie yet. Hopefully part 5 or part 6 will bring her to us, because she is an energetic computer programmer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, who becomes a housewife when she grows up. Though, it was then said in a CD drama that she was just on maternity leave because she has lots of children.
Oh.
So she's just on maternity leave, but it is hopefully, it's said in the CD drama that she's going back to work as a programmer. Hopefully, but that's just in the CD drama, but it's never actually said in the show.
Oh, okay.
But hopefully it's the CD dramas kind of, you know what a CD drama is?
No.
They're like radio plays that come out in Japan. They're very popular.
Oh.
Basically, every anime has a CD drama.
Oh.
And they're very popular because they're just a couple of dollars and they come with little radio plays and they're on CDs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we don't have anything like that.
No.
In Western culture. No, but it is quite interesting. So once we started watching the movie, did it bring back any memories or a sort of sense of nostalgia? Because you did watch this like almost 20 years ago with me.
Yeah, it was sort of like, it was good to sort of, like in Harry Potter when you see them grow up.
Yeah.
It was that sort of thing that I think adults like. They like to see
characters grow up with them.
Characters grow up, yeah.
Well, this movie is set in 2005, so it's 6 years after the first season.
Oh, okay.
Which is, so 1999 was the first, August 1st, 1999 is when the first episode is meant to take place.
Right.
And now it's taking place 2005.
Oh, okay.
And the second season took place in 2002.
Oh, right.
So it was called 02 because it took place in 2002.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So this is in 2005. That's why they all have those weird old phones.
Yes, I wondered that. I was going to ask
Yeah.
you why they had those phones.
So it's 2005. Mobile phones are... everyone has a mobile phone now.
Yeah.
But they're all like weird looking... They're all different looking phones because they haven't really gotten down how phones are meant to look.
Yeah.
So to bring back any other memories that you remember watching when I was a kid?
Well, sitting together watching it was probably as pleasant as the actual film. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it was nice
Yeah.
because and especially the fact that we were watching the English dub and a lot of the voice actors were the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure most of the Digimon have the same voices. Agumon definitely does, and Palmon and Gomon, and it's just really nice. And they don't have the same music, but it's still, it brings back memories of me watching it in bed with you in the morning.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was good fun.
Do you have any other memories that it brought back?
It just reminds me of, like, when I was little, I used to watch Kimba the White Lion.
Yeah.
Also an anime, and that was sort of my introduction to anime and Japanese culture. And it was the same sort of thing that Kimba didn't want to fight. And Kimba didn't want to eat other animals. I wanted to marry Kimba when I was little. You know.
I'm sorry that dream didn't come true.
No, because you can't do that sort of thing. But I really did. So it sort of brought back memories of me being very little and watching Kimba. And then later on, Samurai was huge in Australia.
Yeah, because you and Dad both watched that.
Both watched it in different states. And so it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it also brings back memories of my childhood and just loving Japanese film and television.
Yeah.
So
Did you ever watch Astro Boy? Because I know that was the same era
Astro
as
Boy,
Kimba.
yeah. Yes. Yeah,
I
but
think
not
they might
too
be
big.
rebooting it, I think, Astro Boy.
Oh, yeah.
But I might be wrong, but I heard on a podcast maybe they're rebooting it.
No, I was big into Kimba and Samurai, obviously, because when he came, the guy who played Samurai came out to Australia. He was absolutely mobbed by kids, and that just didn't happen in Japan.
Yeah.
And he just was overawed by the response he got from kids when he came to Adelaide. He was adored and just was followed everywhere he went by screaming children because we just loved him. Everyone did. And Dad said the same thing happened in Melbourne with kids who just adored him. And it was just totally foreign to him because kids didn't act that way in Japan like Australian kids did.
And he might not have expected it to be as big as it was.
No. That the television channel obviously brought him out.
Yeah.
And he was just awestruck by the fact that Australian kids would love this series. And it's just interesting that the Japanese have always been able to do that.
Yeah.
You know, with really quite simple stories and simple television programs.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, I remember when we went to Japan when I was 14, we were eating, I think we were eating breakfast or some meal at the hotel, and we were talking, and she said, and we mentioned how I love Pokemon, and she was like, you know Pokemon?
Yeah.
Like, she was like, oh, she did not realize that Pokemon would be popular in other countries.
Yeah.
And it's still one of the biggest things for kids to watch. Like, everyone watches, like my co-workers, if the kids watch Pokemon and they have all the cards and they play the games. And it's just, Pokemon's is this thing that reaches, and Digimon is that too, but not to the same extent. But I still think Digimon is great. So did it bring back any other memories for you besides wanting to marry a white lion?
No, that's about it, really.
So on to the movie that we just saw. What was your favourite part of the movie? And don't say when it ended.
I think I liked that you've got that unknown thing with the government agents. You don't know quite what they're up to. So that was quite an interesting sort of little avenue to look into.
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoy that part.
Yeah.
Because we haven't really
Adds
seen
another
that.
dimension to it.
In Digimon, especially in Adventure, we've only ever seen until Tamers and later seasons in like season 5 as well. The people who know about Digimon are just the kids.
Yeah.
And no adults know. And season 3 sort of, which is Digimon Tamers, which is the series that the Digimon fandom have basically all said is the best. And Jay even liked it. It's the one I believe I watched a few episodes with you, like maybe a couple of years ago back when I was in university. And it's just a bit darker and a bit more serious. And there's a government agency in that. and they're basically trying to destroy Digimon because they're breaking through the world, so like we have to destroy them. So it's sort of like that. And then in season 5, which Jay and I are about to start watching next week, well, I guess when this episode comes out, we will already be covering it. But the Digidestin actually joined part of a government organization, which are kind of like, I guess, like a police force or something to control these Digimon that are coming in and making sure they stay.
Like border security.
Yeah, kind of like border security, but stopping Digimon.
Yeah.
But I know that the government agency is an interesting part, and they're also the fact that they're consulting Genai, or Genai, as now that he is being called in the dub. He's always been Genai in the dub, but now he's Genai as in the original. Who is actually, he's sort of like a program, like an AI sort of thing from the digital world. He's not human. I'm not sure if you remember him from when we watched the show, but he was an old man in the first season.
Oh, yeah.
And then in the second season, he became young, and he looks like Anakin Skywalker a little bit in the second season. So the fact that they're talking to him is also very interesting, because he was a big part of the first season, but he wasn't human, but he wasn't Digimon either, and he even says that. He's like, oh, I'm neither human nor Digimon.
Right.
And he's just an old man.
Oh.
And any other favourite parts? Because you got a few laughs out of it.
Yeah, it was. I always, that cactus one always tickles me.
Togemon.
Yeah.
I love Togemon.
Yeah, that's just bizarre.
And she's a little plant, and then she evolves to a big cactus.
Yeah, that big cactus thing with boxing gloves.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And she does her needle spray.
That's right.
Which has the best name in the original. It's Chiku Chiku Bang Bang.
It isn't.
It is.
Oh, dear.
She goes Chiku Chiku Bang Bang! But now it's just needle spray in the dub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I really like the part where we actually see a new chosen child. We see Meiko and Meikumon.
Yeah.
Because that's really sweet, and she's like a different sort of character, and then she's shy. And a lot of people who watch Digimon don't actually like Meiko, and I don't understand. She's so sweet.
What's not to like?
I think people are upset that she's something that's new that's coming into this sacred Digimon season.
Oh dear, they ought to get a life.
And no, she's and the fact that she has Meikumon and her name's Meiko, and they both call each other Mei. I think that's really, really sweet. And also, there's something about her design, like Meikumon's design is kind of like creepy, but it's cute in the same way. No, I really like her. What was your favourite character? Either human or Digimon? Because I know you always like Agumon.
Yeah, I do like Agumon. It was all the kids were interesting because they're going through that difficult time.
When they're like 17 and older, yeah.
Kids go through memories. No, I like them all.
Because I always like Mimi. Mimi's always been my favourite, which is strange because when I was a kid, she was my favourite, but she was completely the opposite of who I was when I was watching this show when I was 10.
Yeah.
It's just it's funny that she's my favourite. I like Koshiro, how he's even smarter than he was in the first season, and he's really coming along to being this computer genius that he becomes in the epilogue of 02. And I like how he's made little. He gets anxious when he goes to shops, and his mum's been buying his clothing for him.
Oh yes, that's very cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you think it was a good movie?
Yeah, as you said, it was a bit slow in parts.
Because it was sort of like a slice of life at the start, because it's trying to show you where these kids are.
Yeah.
It's showing you, this is how they've changed. They're not really that close. They're not like best friends. They're kind of like, it's a chore to hang out with each other, and they just sort of don't seem to be very, very close. Except for obviously the ones who are siblings. But even then, like the others, they don't know that Joe has a girlfriend now. And they
But does he?
But does he? That's actually the question for since
does
it's been
he?
There's meant to be 6 movies and only 4 have come out so far.
Right.
The next one's coming out in September, and I believe it's late September, I think. So that's another reason why the first movie was a bit slow, because it's meant to be a 6-part thing. So if you think about it in terms of a series, and it's the first part of 6, it's not going to be super, super fast. And actually the way that Jay and I watched it is that they released it on a streaming website called Crunchyroll, and it's like Netflix but for anime.
Yeah.
And they released the movie the exact same day it came out in Japan in the theatres.
Oh.
But they released it with English subtitles, so it's a simulcast.
Wow.
Which simulcast is this new thing that happens on streaming websites. That as soon as it comes out, no matter where in the world, it will come out to where you are, and it will have your language. Like, you will be able to understand what's going on.
Oh.
So it's this new thing. It's pretty great.
That is
so
good.
On Crunchyroll, it's actually been released as episodes. So part 1, I believe, was 4 episodes. So it was edited differently so it could have an intro and an outro song, like a TV show. Do you have anything else to say about the movie?
No.
Like, how many stars would you give it?
Oh,
Because it was a bit slow, but it is also
Yeah.
set up to another 5 movies after this.
yeah. 3?
Yeah, I would give it about a 3. Like, it was good, but there were bits, like, that were, as I said, a bit slow and a bit boring. But I think it had to be to sort of... Because some people might be watching this movie and haven't seen any Digimon since the late 90s, early 2000s, since when it first came out in 1999, or maybe they watched it in 2000. So maybe they don't have these memories. So they need sort of like a slow introduction back to these characters. Like, oh, this is Taichi. He plays football. This is Yamato. He is in a band. So maybe they had to show the characters more because I've been watching them all my life, but maybe some people had a big break in between and need that sort of like a bit of memory jogging. So do you have anything else to say? Any other parts you liked?
No.
All right, well, thank you for joining me, Mum.
Thank you for having me, May.
Yeah, and was this more enjoyable than what you watched last year, which was Flower Power, which was an episode of Digimon Adventure?
I honestly can't remember.
It was the one where Togemon evolves to Lilymon, like it's a fairy, and they're in the city. Because I think I personally enjoy Flower Power more,
Yeah.
but that's because it's only 20 minutes. And it has like
Yes.
there were no slow parts because it doesn't have, and that was why we liked that episode. Is it didn't feel like they were trying to fill time at all. It felt like it was full.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in coming back to watch the second movie at all with me?
Yeah. Well, I can hear Dad laughing in the background.
I think the first movie is actually the worst of all 4 that have come out.
Okay. And that's the one you made me watch.
That's because that's all that's out in English.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's the second part focuses on Joe and Mimi. Joe's worried that he's a coward because he's just terrified of failure, and he doesn't because he wants to become a doctor. And Mimi's thing is that she's self-centered. And she will go ahead with something, even if it's something that no one else wants to do. She'll go ahead with it and make people do it because she'll think, oh, that's best for me, so it's best for everyone. And it's her coming to terms with that, and she's really upset by it at first, but then she realizes it's sort of her character, but it's also maybe something she needs to work on. So that's the second part. And then the third part is more about the infection, and I think the third movie is actually the best part of Try so far. So it does get better. Like, this is the worst Try movie, but I still enjoyed it.
Okay. Yeah.
So thank you for coming on the
you,
show,
May.
Mum. And join us for the next part. I'm not sure what the next part of this episode will be because this is the first part that we've recorded. So hopefully whoever is listening is enjoying. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So we'll basically be doing a sort of Lost in Translationmon-ish review for this first. I got a bunch of points. There were actually more things that would, like, more changes than I actually thought there would be. I thought they would have stuck closely to the script, but I guess they wanted to keep some of the character changes that they had implemented in the dub of Adventure. So, first of all, I'll ask Jay if he has any changes, because I'm sure that I had listed more changes than he did. I took lots of notes.
Yeah, I didn't take any. Off the top of my head, you get really weird moments between where they're trying to balance we know you watch the English one because this is the English one and the voice actors and everything, but also there's a lot more just Japanese in this, and we can't really hide that anymore, and also we don't expect you as the audience to not realize this is Japan anymore. So, on one hand, they don't translate screens anymore. They're just showing you Japanese. On the other hand, that incident in Heightened View Terrace, that's still happening.
Well, they can't just call it Hikari ga Oka because
They can.
But if you've only ever watched the English version, and all of a sudden they say, "Oh yes, in Hikari ga Oka," you say, "What? Well, where is that? Where has that ever been relevant?" No, I actually respect that they used Heightened View Terrace because
I'm not saying they shouldn't have done it. I'm saying it's odd.
It's in the continuity now. It's in the English dub's continuity, and you know what? I still think Heightened View Terrace is a pretty alright localization of the actual name because I think it means light on a hill or something. So Heightened View Terrace, that is a great name for that, even though it's not really a Japanese name. I've always liked that, but it might just be my nostalgia goggles to say, oh yes, it all happened at Heightened View Terrace. I like it. Go away.
On the other hand, they don't call him Jedi anymore, even though that was original.
This part actually kind of like, I don't want to say annoyed because, I don't know, it shouldn't annoy me, but it's just the fact that they now say Genai is kind of like, alright, but you've never said Genai before in the dub, and it's like if you all of a sudden started calling Biyomon Piyomon.
Yeah.
And they don't call Biyomon Piyomon, they don't call like Taichi, they don't call any other names or pronounce any of the names the way they were.
Or Palmon as NASCmon.
Oh, that's funny. You mean NTSC though?
Damn it! So close!
Like, you don't call Hikari Kari, and even though TK's actually official dub name is Takaru, it's in the title cards of the first episode, we learn all their real names, so I don't know why they haven't used those. And now we call Genai, which I know, yes, Genai is the proper way of saying it in the original. But
Hikariga is the proper way to say it in the original, though, as well.
Okay, yeah, I know. It's the same sort of thing, but it's not as different. It's just it's like the GIF argument.
It's not, though. That's his name.
No, it's the GIF argument because the...
Okay, so I went to high school with a girl named Gemma, right? It was Gemma. If the next year someone had showed up and gone, oh yeah, look, it's Gemma, everyone would have been weird about it.
Yes, no, that's what I'm saying, is people are now saying, oh, it's Genai, and it's kind of like, well, that, okay, I mean, it is, but it's... For someone who's watching...
Not in this universe, it's not.
For someone who's watching the English dub, that is weird. Like, what I want is that when the kids are talking about Genai later on, and someone says, oh yes, Genai, and someone says, who's Genai? Like, that's not his name, it's Genai. Like, maybe it was just the kids. They wouldn't have said who.
They would have been like, don't you mean Genai?
Yeah, what if it's just the kids who can't pronounce it properly?
No, but the problem is he introduced himself.
Yeah, maybe it's just the government organisation who can't pronounce it properly.
No, he introduced himself as Genai.
I know. The government organisation's like, oh yes, right. Genai. But...
We've only ever read it.
Yeah. Also, I just realised I said GIF when I've never actually ever said GIF in my life.
You described it as the argument, so it's fine.
Yeah, the argument of GIF. I say GIF. It's a hard G.
Well, no, because GIF is what it's pronounced, and GIF is the argument.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Oh no, I just prefer to call it YIF.
Yeah, the ye old English. It's pronounced YIF.
It's the YIF argument.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's a fine thing. Like, he was always called Genai anyway, and I think Genai just rolls off the tongue better for English speakers, probably. But maybe I'm just being this dub purist that grew up with the dub. They're just like, no, stamping my foot in the ground. No, it's Genai. But it's just weird to hear the English characters say, ah yes, Genai. It's just strange. But I've never said Genai. You've always said Genai. I've never said Genai.
I do like that they continue to sandbag the name of all of Matt's bands.
Yeah.
Including this one where TK has a great line where he goes, oh man, what's that great band? No, I love your new band name. What is it again?
Yeah.
Knife of Day. And then they don't emphasize it in the voice acting, but you can still, I guess it's just the animation. He goes, eh? Oh, right, sure.
And then, but... in the dub, they cut
Tai Chi's... right, Knife of Ramen,
yeah,
though.
they cut Tai Chi's Knife of Ramen joke. Instead of he makes a, oh, don't worry, we just have creative differences.
I assume that Knife of Ramen doesn't make any sense. Like, does Knife of Ramen sound similar to Knife of Day in Japanese?
Well, no, it's Knife of Day. Like, it's said as Knife of Day. It's not a Japanese name.
Right.
It's just Knife of Day.
Fair
I think
enough.
it's probably so dumb because it probably sounds cooler in Japanese than it is.
There are lots of things that sound really cool in Japanese, and then you'll hear them in English, and you're like, I'm not so sure about that. Then there are other things that are awesome.
Like a line that, and this is towards the end of the movie, when Taichi is in the Ferris wheel and he says, I see more but I understand less. They kept this line exactly how it was in the subtitles. So I really like this line. I think it's a great line that explains how he's grown, and now he's seeing more of this violence, and now he understands that there are consequences for these big fights that he didn't care about when he was 10 or 11 because it wasn't on his priorities. But now he's an adult, he's actually reflecting on the damage that is caused by Digimon, and he's like, this is bad. Like, what if a Digimon who's on our side, what if a Digimon on our side kills someone or injures someone? And a complaint is that in the second chapter where Mimi and Togemon attack a helicopter by mistake, I think that Taichi should have had a bigger issue with this. And Koshiro had the big issue with it.
I tend to think that as far as the show goes, it doesn't do a good job of expressing what he's thinking. He keeps thinking back to destruction that Kuwagamon did by themselves. So while that is a risk and that is something that's very interesting, I don't think when watching, especially this English one, because let's be honest, for all points of comparison, I watched the Japanese one 2 years ago. So I don't remember much about it, except the really general plot points. But as far as what this one got across to me today, I never really felt like I understood why he was having those flashbacks. And if he was having those flashbacks because of post-traumatic stress, which I did identify last time, I feel like. Yeah,
in the original we identified it as. But it wasn't actually stated as obviously in the original as it was in the dub.
Or some kind of assessment of risk. If it was any of those things, I never felt like it really got made that clear at all. It just seemed like he sure is flashing back to that a lot. Telling you what my impression was.
No, I understand. But I actually think it was clearer in the dub. I feel like when we first had those initial flashbacks, Taichi thinks more in the dub about he's like, oh, this is the damage we've caused. This is the damage that we can do. And I don't know, it just seems clearer in the dub.
Why?
I don't know, just because he actually speaks more about it. Like, we get a narration from him.
I felt like he didn't.
No, in the dub he did.
I watched it today.
I watched it a few days ago. He did. I made a point to write it down.
All right, then.
I just found like it was an interesting thing because I'm pretty sure in the original it was just all implied that he was having some PTSD. It is, and it's nice, and I'm just gonna edit in the part where my mother spoke, which we recorded a few days ago, in before this section because of the way that I segued, and my mum actually forgot to tell me on the show, but she said, oh, and another thing that I really liked was the fact that he's now thinking about the damage that he's caused and how he's grown from this, and it's nice to see that someone is actually caring about the damage they cause now. So that's a point that my mum said to me in the morning. She's like, I was thinking about all the things I could have said on the podcast, but I forgot to say. It was sweet.
I was going to say that, but, it's not like they've ever really been in the real world for this before. And they're like, oh, wait a minute, Venom Myotismon or whatever, they, like, blew up the whole city.
So what would have made these flashbacks more effective was maybe the post-Venom Vamdemon battles. They edit in some shots of the fact that the big orb from the building that we've seen in so many shots in Oduba, the television building, if we just saw that orb, like, just be on the floor and, like, it's havoc all around, I feel like that would have pressed the point more.
Doesn't Wargreymon throw that at some point?
Yeah, they play soccer with it, basically. They kick it at him.
That'd be a really good thing to show in a flashback. But
Yeah.
no, we showed some kids holding hands with no context.
Oh, no, I
Good
did.
work.
No, I liked that scene.
I know you did.
I wish there was more of these redrawn flashes from the original season.
I think the problem is that, yes, this works for you as somebody who Digimon's like your favorite thing and you do a show about it, so you watched it recently. And for maybe the top 10% of Digimon fans who, like, really remember everything that happened and can connect that image to something. But I think the other 90% of the viewers, including new viewers and otherwise the intended audience of people who saw Digimon 10 years ago and are like, I remember that, they would have no idea what that's trying to portray.
Yeah. See, I don't think this movie was made for people who haven't seen the original season of Digimon. It'd be boring if you didn't know the characters.
It'd be confusing.
Because you're having this, this nice little slice of life catch up, which I find slow, but I find it necessary. But imagine if you'd never seen Digimon before and you're like, I don't care about these characters. Can't you just introduce them while actually doing some things?
Have we started 02 yet when we originally watched this?
Yes, we were like up to no, we just finished Adventure.
Yeah, so you were like, there are some 02 characters here, and I didn't really get it.
Yeah.
This time around, when I got to see Davis like falling down with his Digivice flying around, I popped. I was like, yeah, you can die now. I'm so happy. I mean, it's a side thing, whatever. But then Cody dies. I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah, because the second movie came out a few months later, and we were just before the Jogras Evolution episode, I think.
And we were like, okay, so when are the 02 kids showing up? Oh, they're not, huh? There's Ken. It's not Ken. Okay.
Yeah. No, I think this is just before we saw our war game. So this was your first look at Omegamon, I think.
Wouldn't be my first look. What do you mean? If we're already in 02, our war game would have already happened.
No. This one, we were just before our war game.
No, I'm sure I would have seen him already.
We had just finished I remember now because I remember we were on the show with Mark and you were just like, because I think you knew about Omegamon because you'd seen him on posters.
There's no way.
No, I'm pretty... No, it came...
I must have seen him before.
No.
I wouldn't have been like, what's that?
No, because you'd seen him before on other Digimon things.
Are you sure we hadn't seen our war game already?
No, we had just finished Adventure. We'd finished our summary
I
episode.
don't really believe you.
Yeah, because we had Mark from With Will on. I remember it.
I couldn't possibly have had the reaction though of I don't understand what this is. When did this happen?
You didn't understand a lot. You were like, who are these kids at the start? And because I was looking at your notes that you took for our war game, I remember you saying, "Oh, that's where he's from."
Okay, I mean, sure.
Because I remember being really worried about this whole movie spoiling anything of 02 from you. So we hadn't started 02 yet.
Oh god, you know what
we
sucks?
hadn't seen our war
Digimon,
game. No,
all
it doesn't.
of it.
Go away.
Nothing is redeeming about this show at all.
Go away. No, it's great. So, any other differences that you noticed? Or should I just go to my long list?
There was Mimi, I guess.
Oh yeah, Mimi becoming almost full Moo as we called her many moons ago when we were covering Adventure.
Many moons ago.
Many moons, yes.
So there's the key thing for me is I don't remember this in the original, that she arrives at the plane station.
The plane station.
The plane station? The airport.
I think you mean international airport.
I'm in the international plane station. And the plane station 4. So she gets to the international airport and she's trying to call Ty and she goes, I came all the way here just for you and you can't even pick up your phone. In her mind, she has arrived here from America to watch a regular high school soccer game.
Yes.
It sure as hell is Moo, isn't it?
Well, I actually think she's just kind of making a bit of a joke because she knows that she's
A
staying
joke
there.
to who?
A joke to Taichi. She's like, oh yes, I'm gonna pretend that I'm just here for his football game. It's gonna make him feel really good. And then I'm like, no, I'm staying.
Why would she make that joke to herself?
Okay, good point. I thought she said it to Taichi.
No, she's clicking on her phone like, oh, why can't you wake up? Why don't you pick up? I came here for you.
Oh, I thought she was texting him.
No.
Oh, okay.
She just hung up because she didn't
Okay,
answer.
that's weird. That is weird.
And like she also mentions it in the car to the agent, I think. And then only like she's talking to them and she goes, I came here for your football game. Oh, I mean, it's fine because my dad moved, but I came here for your game. And as far as the game goes, when everything's cancelled because all the electricity screws up and everything, TK's calling someone up and goes, about my brother's gig tonight, he says, half an hour after the beginning of the football game that Ty had to run away from. Everyone could have gone to both things. All of the drama in this part 1 is stupid.
No, but Sora does say that she's going to both, but she has because it's straight up. It's one after another. She's trying to work on an outfit that she could wear to both. So it is possible to go to both, but maybe it's not possible for Yamato to go to the football game because he's got to practice and be organized for his show, and maybe Taichi doesn't have time for the band because he would have been tired, or maybe he's hanging out with the other people in the football
What's
team.
Kari's excuse?
Oh, Kari's just strange and doesn't understand
Everyone
time.
cancels on him.
But Sora's like, I'm gonna go to both because I'm a good friend, because I'm the mum. I'm the mum friend.
The mum who's dating at least one of these people.
Well, we don't know
Or
if they're-
was dating at least one of them.
Well, they were dating presumably in 02, Yamato and Sora.
Yes.
And Taichi was heartbroken.
And
God,
maybe
that scene.
might have dated before that.
That was heartbreaking. Or maybe, yeah, during our war game.
Gotta
maybe.
love how this show just refuses to address it.
But I kind of like how they sort of address every single ship that is in the whole of all the Digimon fandom.
I don't think so. I don't see any Izzy and Joe ships. Jizzy? That's a name.
No.
I didn't think about that one before I said it.
It's just called Ko.
That's crap. That's
crap.
garbage.
You're rubbish.
Jizzy for life.
All right. So any other changes?
I will go down with this ship. No, I got there's the teacher's voice, which I know
Oh
you
my
don't like.
god, that is his voice. Okay, so in the original, he is like he's like a kind of fun teacher. He's like the young teacher that you have. He's kind of like joking, but he's kind of like also a good teacher. Like he's kind of a serious teacher, but he's also joking. Like he's wearing slippers
And
to
a lab
work.
coat.
Yeah, he's wearing slippers and a lab coat to work. He's kind of like, he's a fun teacher. But the voice they've given him is really like, I hope you've done your homework. And I know this makes his secret identity of being in the government, like, maybe more hidden and more, I don't know, just comes out of nowhere. I don't know. But the voice is just weird. It's like, Ty, I did tell you to do your homework. It's so deep and it's so monotonous, and I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me. I feel like the original voice was a little better, but I feel like all the other voices were all right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to comment on the voices. I know that you complained about some of the characters changing their voices and others not
No, I
changing
didn't.
it. You did. You said Mimi sounded like a totally different person. And also,
but-
Joshua Seth is exactly the same
No,
voice.
but the thing, no, I'm not complaining about that. I was
did.
I was saying that Mimi's voice actress is the same voice actress. Like it's the same person.
Uh-huh.
But she's altered her voice because Mimi's now much older, so she might sound different. Then there's Taichi, who sounds the exact same, and which I like because you can actually identify, oh yeah, that's Taichi. But I don't know why he would sound the same as he did when he was 11. Like, don't boys usually go through vocal changes at that point?
They can. Or, I mean...
I'm Ty, and I'm one of the Digi-Destined!
He doesn't sound like that, though. He speaks differently, and that's enough.
I mean, he sounds more serious now because he's older. But I don't know, I think that Mimi's voice actress also has an amazing range of voices that she's able to do. I mean, she also did Iori.
How old is Sethua Josh?
Sethua Josh?
That's his name. That's what you get for having two first names.
I feel like he's in his 40s.
Wow, okay.
Why?
I thought, okay, maybe he was like, maybe he was a really young voice actor for original Thai, so now he's just kind of grown up. And it's like, okay, he's got the same voice. No, he's 40.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I could be wrong. I love Joshua Seth. Sethua Josh.
He has the name of an 18-year-old. I know people's names don't change, but he has the name of someone who should be 18. I think it's because no one's name is Joshua.
Well, we don't know he's not a vampire.
We don't know that.
How long
That's
have you
true.
been 18?
How long
A
have you been
while.
Thai?
Yeah, you look at Taichi. Taichi, how old are you? 17. How long have you been 17? A while. No, but it's the voices are like I like all the voices. I feel all the Digimon have amazing voices. It's nice that a lot of characters seem to have kept their original voices, and the ones who didn't still do a good job of their voice. Like, I think Piomon might have changed her voice because Piomon sounds different.
I can't tell anymore.
But then I was saying, oh yeah, Piomon's definitely a different voice actress. But then when she changed to Bergermon, it's the exact same voice. I'm like, oh my god, I can't tell. Maybe they got Bergermon's voice. Maybe not Piomon. I don't know. I always love Bergermon's Bergermon. I love it.
Sora, I can feel your love.
The best line in Adventure.
Oh god, Digimon sucks, huh?
Hey, shut up.
It's really bad. No redeeming qualities whatsoever.
I don't know. I feel like there was some redeeming qualities.
You know who's awful? The Royal Knights.
Wow. Why do you hate the rule? Okay. I guess
They're garbage, and they've never been any good.
I still have faith in Try.
I didn't realize, looking back, how they introduced Mako in like the weirdest, laziest way ever, which is Mimi is having a conversation. Yeah, so I moved here and I'm in this class, and yeah, this is what I'm doing now. And then there's a sneeze, and Mako is literally like hidden behind her, like a fat guy hiding behind a lamppost in a cartoon, like perfectly shaped so you couldn't see her the whole time. Then she sneezes and goes, I'm embarrassed, and runs away. And they go, oh yeah, that's a transfer student. I guess she's older than me and she's in Joe's class. Is what it is.
I love her. It's fine. I really, really like her, okay?
No, I think she's great too. I just think that her introduction was lazy.
I can see it that her introduction does seem like a lot of like, oh, I'm writing a fan fiction and I'm introducing a new character. How do I make them? Okay, they're just a transfer student. And
I mean, so is Mimi.
yes, they're both transfer students. I love Mimi so much. I love Mimi and Mako. I like Mimi's face when Mako is introduced because she's like smiling. Everyone else is sort of like smiling softly, but she's like, I'm gonna get some action because she's in love with her.
Is their ship named Mei?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's great. That's why I'm glad that we didn't call our dub name for Mimi as Mei Mei.
I wish her name was Muko so that we could have our thing be the thing.
No, but no.
And they're like, my favorite ship, Moo Moo. I'm like,
But actually, speaking of Mumu, when Izzy is booking her flights, there's just
why did he book her flights? Her dad moved back to Japan. Would he not have flown over with her?
I like this part because she's like, well, I'll come, but you have to pay for my flights.
I don't remember her saying that.
She does.
Okay.
Anyway, so in the original, Izzy's just going through the flight times and the costs, and he says, oh yeah, it'll be about like 1 million yen or 10 million yen. I can't remember the exact amount, but it is quite a bit.
It's a lot of yen.
Yes. I mean, I know there's a big difference between 1 million yen and 10 million yen, but
It's the difference between $1,000
yes, it's probably, I think it's 1 million. I think. So then in the original he's saying, oh yes, but because the bigger airlines will have things like a fuel surcharge, and there's also, because it's such late notice, we'll have to pay a surcharge for that. So it's quite pricey. In the dub, Izzy's saying, well, actually, of course, Mimi will want lots of baggage for all her clothes, and she won't fly anything less than first class.
Which is funny because that's a reflection not on her, but on his opinion of her.
Yes.
Also, it only just occurred to me now that Izzy's the only one there with like a real job, and we know he's very successful because he's got 6 computer screens in his own
rich.
office.
He's probably rich.
So it occurs to me, not only is he happy to buy these plane tickets because he can, he probably paid for his parents' anniversary thing.
Oh yeah. Probably. He's such a sweetheart,
good
though.
kid.
He's like, well, I'm making lots of money because I'm a child genius and I can play one chess game while everyone else watches, because that's apparently what geniuses do.
They really don't emphasize the fact that he's like leagues above everyone else in his life at this stage. All these other kids are like, oh yeah, I'm playing in a band. I'm playing a soccer game. Yeah, I'm basically running a multinational company.
I'm an entrepreneur and I'm 16.
Yeah, the resources he has on hand, the show needs them to work, which is probably why he was given them, but also like doesn't really, people don't make the big deal of it that it should be. How is he attending high school still? Wouldn't he have gotten a GED or equivalency by now?
The thing is, I think Koshiro is like a humble, modest guy, and he's not gonna be like, I'm a genius. He's kind of just like, he does this on the side. Like he's still a high school student.
He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to make a big deal out of it, but he doesn't need to be a high school student either. He's clearly smart enough to not be.
I know we see him in the school uniform. Do we actually see him at school at any point? Because he could just not go to school.
Yes, it's when Mimi's talking to them in the hallway, and then just Mako.
I know, but
We don't see them in class ever, okay? It's
I
not
guess
like...
we see Taichi in class, but we don't see Koshiro. I guess because he's a year younger.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still like, maybe he doesn't actually go to school. He just wears the school uniform because he wants to fit in.
I don't think so. He
you
goes to
imagine?
school. He's at the school. They probably wouldn't let him in if he wasn't a student.
Yeah, he's just telling that he's like, oh, I'm really smart, but I just want to hang out with my friends, okay? That's the most persona level thing ever. Like, oh yes, I go to school, but I don't actually go to school. I go there because I'm with my friends. I actually have a college degree already.
That's pretty much how I feel when I'm playing it. I don't need to be in high school, okay? But a cute girl is here, and that's why I'm here.
That might be just what. Maybe that's why he showed up. He's like, I have to sneak into the school because I
He
like
was
Mimi.
showing up before she was there.
Because he knew she was coming.
That's dumb.
So then when we have Sora on the phone to Izzy when he's at the anniversary dinner and Izzy is speaking French, and in the original, Sora says, are you speaking English? In the dub, of course, they can't say, are you speaking English? Because everyone would like,
Everyone's speaking English.
no, everyone's speaking
Could
English.
have said Japanese,
You're
though.
speaking. That'd have been fun. I think we actually, when we first watched the movie, you said, wow, when they dub this, imagine if they say, are you speaking Japanese?
It'd be funny.
It'll be funny.
Problem here is that Sora seems like the biggest moron in the world. There's something wrong with the line. It's converting your speech into French. Yeah, because that's how telephones work.
Yeah.
That's not a thing that happens.
Yeah, so she says, oh, she knows that he's speaking French. Like, oh, yes, there's something wrong with the line. It sounds like you're speaking French.
Also,
Yeah.
what the hell is his problem where he can't just say, give me a second, and then put the phone down to speak? He's yelling into the receiver as he's giving order to the waiter, who, by the way, why does he need to order in French?
Good point. I think he's impressing his family.
Yeah, okay.
Don't you have a family member who, when she goes to a Chinese restaurant, orders in Chinese?
I have one, yes. I never go there. Well, I've never been with her. I just hear that's true because she speaks fluent Mandarin.
But that's also not... I think it's the same equivalent of that.
No, it's different because they have secret menus.
Do they?
Yeah, she's like, no, if you read the Chinese at like half the restaurants or something, it's like, oh yeah, there are other options there,
That's
or
so cool.
they are sometimes cheaper.
That is so cool. I like that. No, I didn't... Okay.
At least that's the report I'm getting.
Maybe it's the same in French restaurants in Japan then.
I don't think so.
Maybe. You don't know, because I didn't know about the Chinese one.
I'm gonna sleep now.
I think I know what... I think it's worth it to be fluent in Mandarin now.
Okay, yeah, sure. You'll save $2 on some mushu pork. You'll love it.
That's $2 I could spend on some ice cream.
Yeah, but you can't learn Japanese while you're doing that.
Yes, Chinese is very difficult, or looks very difficult.
Probably is.
Probably. It sounds very difficult. So, also, I just want to say, you know how you were saying how it's strange how he didn't, put down the phone or anything? If it was
Yes.
any other character, I would question it, but because it's Koshiro, I think he's, like, slightly different when it comes to social
No,
situations.
Joe would have been the same.
Yeah, I know, but if it was, like, I don't know, someone who's more competent, maybe Hikari.
Okay.
Or no, I think Joe is polite as well. I think he would know. Oh, I'll put the phone down and then talk, and then I'll pick up the phone again and put them in hold.
I've just remembered the reason Carrie didn't go to the soccer games because there was a birthday party to go to.
The same. Yes, that's right. It's the same
Which
as
is-
our war game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's the reason.
She always has birthday parties to go to when it's inopportune.
I wish it was the same friend that we saw. The same friend with like the fluffy hair.
And she's on the phone and she's looking around. Everyone's waiting for her again.
But Ty, I already said that you could cut me in, like that the magician could cut me in half. I can't go. And everyone's staring at her, and she's like, yes, but the magician. Sorry, Ty.
Oh man, come on, Jesus! You don't need to be a magician's assistant.
Just homeostasis it up.
You got stuff to do.
So then, when we have Joe in the library doing some homework or studying, the electric surge happens, and his little electronic dictionary is messing up when he's typing, and he keeps on calling his computer.
I mean, it computes things.
And in the original, it's electronic dictionary.
I don't recall.
Because those things are huge in Japan. They're like little electronic dictionaries. Because you need them for all the kanji.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty difficult.
Yeah, but this one, it's like a computer. I'm like, no. I know it's 2005. Computers didn't look that different back then.
I forgot what year this was set in. Yeah.
My mum was
Digimon's
so
weird.
confused. My mum was like, why do they have those phones?
Yeah, the flip phones.
What's wrong with the phones?
Also,
They're not playing Pokemon Go.
it's really weird because Digimon is this weird like future thing where it's like the digital world and how crazy is technology, and now it's this big throwback to like mid 2000s crap technology. I think that might be one of the reasons Atmon is so refreshing because it's like, oh yeah, it's modern again.
Oh man, I feel like Atmon's going to be really dated in 10 years.
Oh, for sure it will be.
Like when Digimon Adventure is as old as, like when Atmon's as old as Digimon Adventure is now, we're going to look back on Atmon and we're going to say, oh, remember when everyone had apps on their phone? Now we have apps on our fingernails.
That wasn't the way you structured that sentence, by the way.
I'm sure I could have structured it better, but I'm sticking with it.
Because you were like, everyone had apps on their phones, as in apps was the weird part of that. Now we still have apps, but now it's elsewhere.
Yeah.
Marketing.
So, as I said before, then when we have some flashbacks of the damage, I feel like Taichi narrates it a lot more than he does in the original when he's thinking about all the damage he's ever caused. I mean, I still feel like the original should have edited in a clip from Venom Bamdemon and that whole fight, because that was also damage, and then it's also Taichi linking it. Or even if the dub said, it's like when we blew up Tokyo, basically.
No, it'd be really good if this was a great place for them to start putting in like ambiguous, did 02 happen? Because you got them like, he's him watching the other kids flow up in the beams of light as the town is destroyed around them. And he's like, I remember this. And it's one flash for a second and everyone's watching. It's like, so 02 canon or what? Honestly, if we had not seen the 02 kids dying at the beginning, and I guess
we didn't think it's canon.
No,
Yeah.
within the space of this one,
Yeah.
there is no evidence whatsoever that 02 ever happened. Oh no, except for the
D3s,
Digivices.
the D3s, yeah.
Ah, it's so stupid.
And I do like that scene where Daigo's talking to Tai and he's talking about what he wants to be, and it sort of like starts to hint at him becoming the UN ambassador.
They
for the
didn't
digital
in
world.
the English at all. It was, well, if you want to go move around, why don't you learn some foreign languages?
Yeah, but
that was it.
I liked how the original says, what about you do something that involves travel, or and sort of references what kind of jobs involve travel.
I guess.
I still think that's really cute. And I like that. I like how they're referencing the epilogue.
I mean, kind of, but a lot of the stuff in the epilogue is also
Like, where's Yamato becoming an astronaut and going to Mars?
Does May die? She
hope
must.
not.
Mako must die.
Look, I really hope not, because I like her, but there are so many people in the Digimon fandom who want her to die.
I don't want her to die. I just think that it's likely that she will.
Look, we've never, except for Oikawa, we've never seen a chosen child die, or a chosen person.
Oh yeah, Okawa did die in the end, didn't
Yeah,
he?
and he had a Digimon partner.
And he protected the digital world for about 1 year. That's amazing.
Yay!
Remember that?
Oh yeah,
'Cause
Revenge
I
of Dia-
sure don't.
Revenge of Diaboromon. Also, Black Hole Greymon Seal that did absolutely nothing. He's like, I will sacrifice myself so that Oikawa can't get to the digital world.
So that Jay
And it
can
does.
stop hating me. And I'm like, yeah!
Oh my god. And they both become butterflies. Which is, I mean, thematically it's fine.
It's not. I hate them so much.
So when there's Digimon in Haneda Airport, where we get all these news flashes about what's happening, they keep on calling it at International Airport.
Well, like they're fighting through the digital world through these portals into random places. So yeah, they end up at the airport because random. Lol,
Yeah.
random, right?
Well, no,
Waffles, glomp.
Waffles, glomp, roar. But the thing is, why is it called International Airport?
That's its name. It legitimately might be the name, actually.
It's Haneda Airport,
Ah, well, you can't say that in English.
which is in Narita Airport. Narita is the bigger airport, I think.
Heightened View Airport.
Heightened View Airport, you know, that airport in Heightened View Terrace.
Exactly.
Because, you know, there are two airports in Japan. One's in Oduba, one's in Heightened View Terrace.
That is precisely the case.
Then I noticed something, and I feel like this might have been an audio error.
How do you mean?
After the airport fight, Izzy's voice gets really, really fuzzy, like he's standing too close to the microphone. Like, compared to the other voices, it sounds like someone amplified his voice, or he's standing right next to the pop filter or something. Like, if I moved in like this, it sounds like that. Or if someone said, oh, Izzy's voice actress is just not as loud as everyone else, I'm going to amplify it by about 10.
It's legitimately possible. He just wasn't close enough at the time.
Yeah. So it's just something I noticed, and it was kind of like, it didn't sound right. It just sounded poor quality, and it was just this scene. It was just a couple of minutes, but it was a couple of minutes of this doesn't sound too great. Did you notice that at all?
I wasn't really paying attention to the sound quality. I couldn't give you a review on that at all, pretty much.
And then later on, when the kids are talking, for one thing, when Koshiro is giving the explanation, in the original, he's talking a lot, but in the dub, I don't think he talks as much. Like, it's not as obvious that he's talking in the background as all the kids are having their own discussion. It's just sort of, it's softer, and it doesn't seem as frantic on his part. He's still talking while they're talking, but it's not to the same extent. And then when they're talking about how everyone's going to be blaming the Digimon, Matt says, and this is just in the dub, he says, well, I'm going to tell my dad to make a complaint to the TV network because they are making Digimon sound bad. And I'm like, that wasn't in the original. There's no reference to his dad, which is sad because his dad's the best character. Where is his dad?
Dead, probably. Well, not dead, obviously, but
We've only seen two parents.
he's off in Dream Daddies.
We've seen Taichi's mum, and we have seen Koshiro's parents. We haven't seen any other references to any of the other parents.
A little bit. Well, we've heard references to Mimi's parents.
Yeah.
Well, dad.
But I love Yamato's dad because I think they're going to make him show up and he's going to see Maki and Daigo. He's like, Maki, Daigo, long time no see. I haven't seen you.
It's never gonna happen.
I've never seen you since we went to the digital world.
What? We saw the original kids. Was he one of them? Did it look... Could one of them been him?
Well, the thing is, he looks very generic Japanese dad.
Was there a blonde one?
He's not... No, he's not blonde. The mum is blonde.
Oh, I don't remember.
He's just got brown hair. He's just like... He's the dad. He's a daddy Ishida.
Yeah, but you know that if you take someone who's aged 40 in anime and then age them down, they look pretty much exactly the same, just smaller.
We didn't really get a good shot, but there was a brown-haired boy.
Oh.
Look, until they actually state that Yamato's dad isn't one of the original Chosen, I will not say otherwise. To me, he is one of the original Chosen. So if he sees Maki and Daigo and doesn't react, and I think that's why we haven't seen him yet, because he would have seen Maki and Daigo. I want him to meet Maki and Daigo.
You're telling me that years down the line, Matt's dad still hasn't been like, by the way, I also had one of those. He wouldn't have mentioned it?
I don't think he would have.
Why?
Because it's in the script.
That's not a reason.
Look, if he doesn't mention it, I'm pretty sure it's not the strangest thing that's ever happened in Digimon.
It's true. You know, Koji's dad.
Or maybe he went through something that he didn't want to talk about.
I feel like he'd mention it.
Like, Daigo never mentioned it to the kids.
Who's Daigo again?
Daigo is the one who's not Maki, the teacher.
Well, the teacher's part of a secret government agency. It's different. Also, I know they do know.
Look, I still have basis on the point where he sees Gabumon, and in the dub it's just like, "Hi, Gabumon."
He introduces himself first.
In the dub he didn't. He just says, "Oh, it's..."
But that's the dub. The dub's a huge lie.
Yeah, he sees Garurumon. He's like, "Hi, Garurumon."
It's a lie.
No, I will take it to the grave with me, okay?
Fine, you do that. That's not what that phrase means, but
Well,
okay.
I'll take it to the death.
You don't know what that means!
I'm making a new meaning for it. Meanings change all the time. I'm taking it to the death with me.
Ugh.
So then when Joe says, "Oh yes, I have a girlfriend. I don't even have time for her anymore."
I remember this one. Izzy's like mumbling to himself and no one can get his attention. And he's like, "You have a girlfriend?
Grill? Ghost? So Mimi wonders if acting shocked will hurt his feelings in the dub, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't in the original.
Oh well.
And he's like, "Uh-oh, better say something." I know, it's still a funny moment.
Hey look, 4 episodes later, we still don't know who his girlfriend is.
When I watched this with my mum says, "No, he doesn't."
Strong.
But I have a question for you, Joe. Oh, is it where we meet? When did I know that she was the one? When I fell in love with her? Is your girlfriend real? Still the best line.
The fact that Gomon has to ask that after presumably being with him for a number of days, I'm beginning to really think she's not real.
So then when TK and Koshiro are talking, and then he's drinking the oolong, there's this weird line in the dub where TK says, "Aren't you hitting the can a bit hard there, Izzy?" And I was like, are they doing the opposite of what they usually do when they turn something that's alcohol into not alcohol? Are they turning something that's not alcohol into alcohol?
It's just a joke. It's an alcohol reference.
Is Koshiro an alcoholic now?
No. Is that why he randomly speaks in French?
Does he go out with Taichi's dad and get strong as a salaryman?
Is he dead? What happened to him?
Oh, he's just a salaryman. He's working all the time.
Oh, okay. So they didn't even get divorced or anything. It's just,
No.
He's just out.
The same thing in Adventure. You don't really see the dad as much as you see the mum, because the mum's, like, presumably a housewife.
No, the dad only exists in the Japanese version of the prequel.
Yeah, well...
He's never mentioned anywhere else.
No, I think he's shown in Adventure at the end, like when
Is
all the parents are together.
Is he?
Yeah, is he? No, he's Taichi.
Is he?
Taichi's dad,
Is
not Izzy.
he?
Yeah, Taichi's dad, not Izzy. I know what you're confused about.
Is he though?
No, he's Taichi's dad, and I said Taichi's dad is hanging out with Izzy and getting drunk.
Taichi's dad though?
Yeah, Taichi's dad though. No, I'm pretty sure in the scene where they're all waving up to the beams of light that are taking the children back to the digital world to their dooms, I'm pretty sure that he's there.
Digimon's terrible, and we should all stop watching it forever.
And I think we might have
so
seen.
done with
I think we
this.
might have seen him in 02 as well. But mainly, he is in the prequel movie where he's drunk and he says, "Taichi Hikari, I'm gonna give you a kiss." They cut that.
Yes, good.
Then, when all the kids are together and Taichi's on his phone, I'm not sure if I don't remember this part or not, but Tai says, "How do I work this thing?" around his phone, and Sora just sort of like, yep, I will teach you how to use phone. I don't remember this being in the original. Or maybe it's Hikari, I can't remember. But the point is, Tai doesn't know how to use his phone.
I don't recall either, but I guess it was 2005. People didn't quite get it yet.
Then when they're on the Ferris wheel, I feel like this also wasn't in the original, when Yamato says, hey, what are your goggles for? Nice goggles. I feel like this is just a silence replacement.
We talked about the bit in the airport where, I don't remember if we talked about it last time, but they all arrive and Ty's like, okay guys, what do we do? And they go, what do you mean what do we do? We would all thought you would have a plan.
Yeah.
Because he's the leader and that's what his job is.
I feel like that was a dub edition. I don't remember that in the original.
It was a good bit. I liked it.
Because you're like, well, you're the leader. You always have the ideas, right? So then in the fight with Alphamon, when Agumon...
Just go straight to when Alphamon shows up.
No, because I'm not doing the whole story because we've already been through
fair enough.
everyone's
Go
already
ahead.
knows the synopsis. I'm just going through the changes. So then in the fight with
It would be a
Alphamon...
bit obnoxious, wouldn't it, to
Oh
go
my
back
god,
over it again?
shut up. When Agumon and Garurumon are evolving up to their ultimate forms and then Jogress in the end, they shout out their names as they evolve instead of just showing up.
And then they shout their names as they attack.
No, as they show up, it's like, Greymon! Where Garurumon? Metal Greymon!
But they always shout them as they attack. Like when Metal Greymon shoots his nipple missiles, he's just like, Metal Greymon!
Yeah, because this wasn't in the original. Like, they don't say their names as they evolve in this scene.
I know, but it's weird that it's like they're punctuating the attack. Like when they used to say like Gaia Force, now he's just like, whoa, Greymon!
Well, it was just instead of showing up as they did in the original and not saying anything.
Yeah, I remember this being a very silent scene.
Yeah, it was just Braveheart, which was great. I love Braveheart, but...
I've only heard that song 18,000 times.
In this movie, yeah, like they kept Braveheart in. So, but the thing I liked is when they said Omnimon, it just reminded me of Digimon the movie because that's the way he said it when he evolved, and I don't know why, it just touched my nostalgia buttons, just poked them.
I don't have those.
I have so many of those, especially for that scene where Taichi and Yamato are holding hands from when the fight with Venom Vandemon, when they're about to be impaled with their siblings as arrows.
As far as Digimon goes, I only have the opposite of nostalgia buttons, where something happens and they go, not this again.
Your hatred buttons, there's a big hatred button, the biggest one on your body, and it just says Black War Greymon.
I'm so glad he's never coming back.
And then there's another one that says X Evolution, and you press them both at the same time.
It doesn't work.
You
You
just
can't.
get strip of Black War Greymon.
It doesn't change anything. He's still bad.
So then after the fight, Meiko says, oh, Dan Dan, which in the original was the place that she's from in Japan has a dialect.
I hate that she says it too.
But it makes sense in the original when it's the place in Japan where
Yeah.
she's from. It means thank you where she's from.
But like in this version, she says it, and then Meikumon says it, and then she has the audacity to say, oh, by the way, that means thank you in Meikumon speak, which, fine, if Meikumon had just been the only one who said it, whatever. But you're a human person.
Yeah.
You don't have to speak this way.
See, I think, I was surprised they left it in, so I didn't know what they were going to do with it. But then when they said, oh, it's Meikumon speak, I'm like, well, that's the dumb reason. Like, what they should have said is because Dun Dun has the same syllables as thank you, you could have had Meiko say thank you and Meikumon say Dun Dun. Also, why does Meikumon have her own language? That's what I want to know.
So here's another thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not a dialect, right? So that means there's no conscious thing that they can say anymore. Well, okay, they're going to speak in whatever dialect is in Odaiba or Tokyo,
Yeah.
normal, whatever, and not in their weird one, okay? In this case, Meikumon speaks this way.
Mm-hmm.
So when the other English ones come out, they're still going to talk like this, right? Because that's continuity.
Yes.
All right then, get ready. Get ready for lots of Dun Dun and maybe other weird parts of Meikumon speak.
Dun Dun. So that's about it for all our discussions, unless Jay has any more discussion points.
Nope, I watched it again, and I wish I hadn't.
So, I have one more bit. So we actually had the Australian/European UK release. So in the intro, we had we actually had Butterfly as the intro song, and as I understand, in the American version and in the version that was in the movies, in the intro they played the new Digimon theme during that scene.
And apparently we had some of that right afterwards, and it's terrible.
We didn't get the full version of the song, but about, I'd say, a minute after Butterfly stopped playing, which was the intro scene. So it's the exact same as in the original Japanese version with Butterflies playing during the opening credits. We had about a minute later when we got shots of the school, and we had probably maybe like 30 seconds of the new theme.
And it is trash garbage that is also on fire. It's
Digimon,
bad.
Digimon, 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 Digimon.
It's really bad.
But that's basically the last point, so...
It's real bad.
Yeah, it's, look, it's reminiscent of the Digirap, but I think the Digirap's better.
Because the Digivolution
It's
is
up
up
and
and
coming.
coming. Did
Did
you
you
hear?
hear? Did you
see?
see?
Do you know what's coming?
The Digi Destiny starts
Starts
today.
today. Let me hear you say.
Digimon.
Like, that's got personality to it, right? This is garbage.
It's very sort of, I don't know, it sort of ages down the movie a bit. It makes it seem like it's for a younger audience, maybe the audience that the demographic that the original movies were aimed at.
I would love to see that opening sequence where Butterfly's replaced with the Digirat.
Oh, no, that exists. I'll show you after this. It actually goes really well.
I was joking. I don't actually want to see any more Digimon. I'm going home after this.
He's like, oh, no more Digimon. I better leave. Run.
I was kidding. Don't do this to me.
Alright everyone, thank you for listening in. You can find our link dump linked in the description, and you can also find a link to our Redbubble, which is also linked in the description, and you can buy more than just shirts. If you want to have some fashionable Lost in Translationmon thing where it's the digital enchilada, and it's got Lotmon and Dracomon on the digital enchilada.
It's really cute, okay?
It's really cute.
It's really cute.
My jumper is so warm.
I love my mug. I love it so much. I wear it all the time.
I use my mug as well. It's a good travel mug. You can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, or you can comment on this episode or message us on SoundCloud. You can follow us on at Translationmon on Twitter, and you can find us on Lost in Translationmon on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We have a discussion thread on With the Will and a Reddit thread in the Digimon subreddit, and we'd really appreciate if you would review us on iTunes, Stitcher, or whatever podcast listening service that you use. We have a website. You should check that out. We have things like the schedule for upcoming episodes. You can also donate to our Patreon, which is in the description, from as little as $1 a month. A $1 a month gets you access to a listener Slack chat group, but there are higher levels with more rewards such as notes, early episodes, and more.
And thank you to our current Patreon supporters, Sam Krieger, who has a podcast called The Moncast, which talks about Pokemon and Digimon, Stevie, who is Stevie Padamon on Tumblr and is currently taking commissions, Ruchinglong, who you can find at twitch.tv/Ruchinglong, Metal Mamimon, Joe, Anime Guy, who is Anime Guy Kurosaki and the #1 on YouTube, Penguin Mage, Chuckmon, Ishbal Bamba, Hiro Olado, who's at Hiro Olado on Twitter, Jason Morosky, Ryuchi, who is Frost Moragic on Archive of Our Own, Stephen Reeves, who's at Wildwing64 on Twitter, Kaidawashi, Mac, Noam, Riku, Chisai, who you can follow at Chisai236 on Tumblr, Corey, Kyle, the Lady Bugman, whose anime blog you can find at baguburagu.wordpress.com, Smallwolfie, who is on Tapastic as Smallwolfie and has a comic there called Eden of Melancholy, Tom, Glitchgoat, Azra McCool, Nicholas, Gene Hackmon, Matthew, Anthony, who is at AntoClassic on Twitter, Lisbeth, Sithobi, and Ellivorg, who is Ellivorg on Tumblr.
And Sporky McForkenspoon. I'm not sure which one that Jay is reading, but it is not an up-to-date one.
Aptly episode 41. Apparently it is not new enough.
You can also make a one-off donation on our PayPal, which can be found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/Digimon. And make sure to listen to the podcast. We'll see you guys next time, and happy Oduba Day. Bye!
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye, bye.